That'll be an absolutely massive one. I think, you know, the fact that you're currently a lightweight fighter looking at a potential contender spot for the lightweight title, and now you also potentially have welterweight aspirations. I think that's phenomenal. So I think let's stay with you, Patrick. We then had the co-main event between Martin the Punisher Van Staden and Igeu Smiley Kabesa, the featherweight goat of the EFC. When this fight was announced, we all said, "Oh gosh, old man Van Staden, the old Punisher, etc., etc." But this fight ended up being one that was very, very exciting. How did you see this fight? When it was announced, and how did you see it as it was happening? Did it go the way you thought it was going to go?
No, we didn't. I'm actually disappointed in the champ, the former champ, sorry to say, because the round one, he started the fight like he really wants the W, you know what I mean? I know it's not going to be easy to take Martins down and play with him, but the way he handled him in round one, all Martins could do was just to defend. But now coming to round two, and the way he fought in round two, I felt like it was all planned. In my opinion, man, if it wasn't planned, then it means that the champ was just off on that day. And when you're off, there's absolutely nothing that you can do. But he fought better in round two, and I was really disappointed. Not the result I was hoping for. I thought it was going to be a walk in the park for him, but I guess Martin surprised me. So I say more respect for the champ.
More respect to the champ, 100%. I think, like you said, it's a fight at the end of the day. It's MMA. Lots of people are shocked and disappointed, but at the end of the day, Igor did come up the weight class. Even before this fight, he was saying, "Listen, there's no one here that can beat me. Bring on the heavyweights. Let's go." But unfortunately, it happened and he lost. Now, Joe, the catalyst for the end of this fight seemed to be the elbow that Igor caught at the end of round one. That, and I was standing right on that side of the cage, about maybe call it 2 meters, and everyone in that corner just went, "Oh!" because
Yeah.
viciousness with that elbow that Martin hit Igor with, from our perspective, is what caused the concussion. Because I think once again, Godspeed to Igor, and I think you guys can obviously send your
Yeah, agree and send regards as well.
Yeah. But how do you think that impacted the fight, and what do you think the key to victory was for Van Staden?
Sure. So, when this fight got announced, I compared it to John Jones versus Stipe. It's like Igor's going to walk through Martin. Martin's old. He's not going to do well. Igor's, in the prime of his life, and he seems to be unstoppable. And, Martin ended up getting it done. And as you mentioned, there was a few big elbows, which Igor ate, and I think have a direct result of how he came out in round two. With him being, in hospital with a concussion, you can see that Martin did a lot of damage. Now, Martin is also, a bigger guy who's come down to lightweight, so he packs a lot of power there. And maybe that's just something Igor's chin hadn't felt before. Taking damage like that changes the outcome of the fight entirely. Igor was cruising in round one. He had Martin on the fence, getting ready to get the takedowns, and one or two elbows came in, and round two, it looked like Igor was gassed. But afterwards, chatting to the doctors and seeing that there was an elbow and a concussion, and with him being in hospital, you can see that he probably wasn't gassed. He was probably just, not mentally there, not compos mentis. So, yeah, would we have liked to see the fight go on longer? Yes, but for Igor's health and safety, I'm glad that it ended there. And then, as you said in the intro, this is not a setback; it's a set up to his comeback. I do believe Igor will come back stronger. He's been quite active. Maybe he can just take a little bit of time, rest, and then plan his comeback properly. Whether that's featherweight, lightweight, we don't know. But congrats to Martin. Very well done.
I think shout out to Ayanda the Power Zwane in the chats. He says, "I think the fight should have been ended early. He took too much damage just before he lost." And I think That's a very good point because right before he lost, he was being punished. And like you said, Joel, he almost clearly wasn't corpus mentis because he wasn't really fighting. He was kind of just like moving around and just being pummeled by Van Staden. So I agree with Ayanda. The fight probably should, maybe the doctor should have called it, but at the end of the day, he's the champ. You go out as the champ. He went out as the champ. So definitely, I think big ups to him for that. It's not an easy thing to then come out like that. So shout out to him. Kelvin, what next for Iga? Or no, different question. What next for Van Staden? What next for this division? Because it's got a new leader. It's got a new person setting the pace, someone we didn't expect. Who's next?
Yeah, look. It's quite an interesting one with Martin moving to CRT. Obviously, CRT is trying to take things by storm, and they've got good connections. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if he's looking to go to other promotions after this. But what I would like to see him is have a title defense, and I think Patrick's a good opponent for him. Patrick's definitely going to test him on the feet, and I think it's going to be that would be a cracker of a fight. So I think that's what I would like to see next if Martin does stay in the EFC. But look, with a record like that, he's 23-13 now. It's absolutely massive. He can pretty much go anywhere and pretty much be in I'd say the top 5, except the UFC. If you went Bellator, PFL, KSW. That kind of thing. So he's got options. He is also getting older, so I feel like he will be chasing the money fights. And I guess that's what he's earned. So next for Martin, I would love it if he stayed here and gave the crowd more bangers because he is a legend already. But if he's looking after himself, then he's looking for the money fights. That's what I do.
Looking for the money fights.